The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. As always, we come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
We were off, we're off 47 on the S&P cash, down 244 on the Dow. NASDAQ's off 201. Man, that NASDAQ awful close to the Dow. Give you a little indication of where we're seeing some of the weakness today. It's certainly in that NASDAQ. Even the Russell off 1.9%. I'm going to call that. Dow's off 1%. S&P's off about 1.75%. Volume is going to be telling us a great deal. Are we going to exceed what we saw recently? It's going to be close. We'll have to see what volume comes in late in the day, but doing 4.9 billion shares as we start the show. So we'll be looking at a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts out here. I'm hoping for a buyable low in the next few days. We'll see what happens. Yesterday I said we wanted to use an abundance of caution. That was because the advanced decline line was pretty horrible up into the end of the day and just got worse in the last 30 minutes. And that kind of will tell you a great deal more about what people are thinking, other than a handful of people reaching in and buying Apple midday or something like that, like yesterday. And again, I wasn't a big fan of the rally based on the Fed coming out and kind of trying to jawbone the market. That seems to always last about 5 hours. Maybe did it last 5 hours today, or from when they said it yesterday? It would have been an extra hour from yesterday into the morning, but I don't think it even lasted, 15 minutes this morning. Anyway, Fed jawboning doesn't go very far compared to the reality of continued higher rates in the face of a market that's telling you they're going a little bit too far too fast. Wow. Anyway, volume's good. Is it going to blow out volume from some of the other days? The answer, I don't think so, but we'll have to see. I think you're going to have a very buyable low. Maybe not today, but I think you're going to have a very buyable low. And at the moment, since I'm all cash, I'm more than willing to let the market burn down to a better level to buy, and didn't buy anything yesterday. So answering a few questions of that came in already. You, of course, can always email me at path@tfnn.com. You can put some messages in the den and give me a call at 877-927-6648. Let's do a little history, and then we'll get into some charts.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1861, Western Union completes the first transcontinental telegraph line across the United States, making nearly instantaneous cross-country communication possible for the first time. Previously, it took 10 days for a letter to be sent from Missouri to California via the Pony Express. Not coincidentally, 2 days later, Pony Express shut down operations in anticipation that they would no longer be needed. Man, 10 days to about 15 minutes. That's the kind of order of magnitude that actually makes money in the markets, and something that I'm always talking about in the Tech Insider. If you can make something 10 times better, generally, no matter what, people are going to beat a path to your door. If you made a car that got double the gas mileage, though, just 100% better, but was 2 lanes wide, if the car had to be like 20 feet wide and took up both lanes, how long would it take him to redo all the roads? It may be the best thing in the world, but it has to overcome the hurdles that are in front of it. But on this thing, not a big problem, not a lot of hurdles, not a lot of moats for them to have to go through. But certainly anybody that came in second would have to build and build into a company already making money. And in technology circles, it's called the incumbents. Oh, well, now I think it's advantage. I was trying to think of it. There's a great book called from David Dow, D-O-W, about technology and marketing technology and what's worked in the past and the future. But that incumbents position, one of the ones that is the hardest historically to break. So we'll have take a look at that. Anyway, let's go ahead and start taking a look at markets as quickly as we can. See what we got up here. Wanted to look at some of the ones that had been leading the markets and see how they're holding up today. Micron was one I was hoping it would get into this gap up that goes back to September 27th, 2017, so a little over a year ago. Up with, anyone would kind of call it 85 million shares is close enough. Down today with 30 million shares, a little over 31 million shares. So maybe we come in at 40 million shares, which is going to be about half. And that's kind of a theme of a lot of these stocks that I'm seeing out here. Going to see a lot of these stocks that are down fairly strongly, but volume's light. And of course, all the volume is right now in these indexes and ETFs, and very few in the actual stocks themselves. I suspect that means, and I'll continue along this path, I think for a while, that the individual stocks will far outperform the indexes probably between now and the end of the year. I probably won't have a lot of index positions or ETFs. I think there's going to be a lot of money to be made in these individual stocks that show the strongest relative strength coming in to these lows. And maybe it's another day away from MU. In NVIDIA, we have down 13.2 million shares. That's going into a 15 million share low of April 25th. So we can figure that we're going to probably beat that. But you've got a 29 million share low on February 6th in 2018 on NVIDIA. So 30 million shares. You're going to come in on that real light. And of course, you've got the gap up on the 3rd of this year of 22 million shares. But right about that, what is that going to be? What was the low of the day there? 203.45, and the close, 203.45 is the low, and the high was 213 that day. So we've got a couple of stocks that are starting to home in on what should be fairly decent support. And then, of course, you got to look at the next leg down, which is 180 on NVIDIA. We'll be back in a minute. We got lots of charts to look at.
Excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors. Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And we're off 45 on the S&P cash, 285 on the Dow, the Nasdaq's off 193, and the Russell's off 32. So volumes just crested 5 billion shares on the CBOE market volume summary. If you ever want a link to that, just email me at path@tfnn.com, and you can chase and follow the volume just like I do every day. This is not just floor traded. This is everything, and it's all broken down to tape A, B, and C, and added up 5 different ways. So if you're interested in what's actually going on in the market, whether it's on a dollar basis or an actual volume basis, I'll be glad to give you that link. Other things going on out here, I've got probably about, sorry, I got a little cough. I left the windows open last night, and I think that wasn't a good idea. Anyway, got a lot of stocks that I'm looking at, probably about 100 of them. We'll try to get through about 10 of them, and we'll see how they're doing. But was very interested to watch how some of these stocks did work out today. Ally Financial has the makings of a railroad track down here at the lows. You wanted to see something come in lower than 7.4 million shares. That's the June 28th low at $25.06. You pierced that yesterday. You rallied back higher. Today, you're already into that with 6.2 million shares. So if you bought it at the lows, it's fine, but you're already getting told today that you don't want to be in that, at least in the near term. So that's one down for the financials. A lot of these stocks, a lot of people haven't heard of, so I know that they're a little less, but interesting nonetheless to me. BGC Partners, and I will pull up the profile on this one, and we'll talk about what they do, since they don't talk a great deal about it, or people don't talk about it. Operates as a brokerage company serving the financial and real estate investment markets worldwide, operates in financial services and real estate services. Anyway, down with just 1.75 million shares yesterday into the 3 million share low of July 30th and right through the 4.6 million share low of June 7th. Now you're down today with 1.77 million shares. So you already basically got into yesterday's volume with about the same volume. But you know what? That's kind of, these kind of patterns are, you know, if they can do this for a few days and nothing really happens, these things can be setting up to hammer out a bottom. So I'm going to be watching these very closely if we do find anything. A lot of stocks that took off with huge volume have come back to and filled these gaps. Of course, the patron saint of price and volume trading is Richard Wyckoff. And this is his pretty much favorite pattern, which was to go ahead, break out with lots of volume, which we did on, what was it, July 26th, up with 4.8 million shares. You go up a little bit higher and you pull back with nice light volume. You come in. Now, we've been kind of finishing up this volume pattern, but I kind of like it when you get in here and you get the last little bit of these. Now, you could get down to $8. It was $8.64 as the low yesterday. Got a little doji out here today. This is Bridgeport Education. We'll talk about that one. Provides post-secondary education services in the United States. Its academic institutions, Ashford University, University of the Rockies, Masters, The company was formerly known as Tele-University, changed its name to Bridgepoint Education in February of 2004. Was founded in 1999, headquarters in San Diego. I don't know much about them. I want to check them out a little bit, make sure that they weren't like a lot of the other online education. I always wondered what a degree from Phoenix University actually was worth. Don't know. Would people just act like he didn't go? I think they might. Anyway, it does look fairly good out here as just a standard pattern. And at that point, you start looking at when the next earnings cycle is and what they're doing, maybe reading up on a little bit and find out if there's anything to that going on. CNH Industrial. This one making a fairly decent support level at the $10 level. Okay. Sells and finances agriculture and construction equipment. Hey, now this would be interesting if we start seeing the ag business pick up. Company operates in 5 segments: agricultural, construction, commercial vehicles, powertrain, and financial services. Okay. We are seeing this come back to the gap up that started the fairly long-term move higher that started in, what is that, April 24th of 2017. So we're back in that area. Now you popped on, I don't know, 1 or 2 million shares. And volume so far fairly light with 777,000 shares today. You'd want to see how that one does. Let's take another look at some of these others. DESP, Despergear.com. Let's see what we'll get the rely on that. Now, this one's fairly close, but it hasn't made its low. It hasn't pierced the previous September 12th low at $14.80. Got to $14.94 yesterday, with about 2/3 of the volume. What I really liked about this pattern was this light volume off the September 21st high of 1785 all the way back down to this low, which is, what, 15 cents, just above the previous low with a little bit lighter volume. We kind of bounced a little bit today. I'd like to see that one actually pierce the low and then pull back into the trading range before any play on that one. EPAM Systems. This one had a nice thrust down on August 2nd and did so on 1.6 million shares. Now, when we're into it yesterday with just 226,000 shares. again, you kind of did a little reversal. Now you're coming back down 128,000 shares today. And again, it may take a couple of days for these things to bang out some lows. So it's going to take a lot of patience. But I think that there's some diamonds in the rough in these things that I'm showing you today. Again, you can email me at path@tfnn.com or give me a call at 877-927-6648. Canadian Shares Trust Fund, which is the EWC, is starting to line up at this 2670 level that tested it on February 9th with almost 11 million shares. Got into it with 5 million shares on April 4th. Yesterday, we got it into it with 3 million shares. Today, fairly light 2.4 million shares. But this 26 area looks like it's going to be some fairly decent support long term on the Canadian index. So we want to watch that.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of the Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we are back down 33. We've had a nice little pop of about, 10 S&P points here. And probably fairly normal to think people would start nibbling at this market at 2,700 on the S&P cash and about 2 o'clock. That's not too bad. Now, they may be forecasting, this little pop may be forecasting some market on close orders coming in, because this is when they start hitting the street, so that we saw a little bounce out here in the last few minutes. Just see whether or not this lasts for more than a handful of minutes. because a lot of times the market pretty much adapts to it fairly quickly. Market on close orders, for those people that are new to the show, is a way of the big guys buying stock. And it basically says you got to, you give an order saying, hey, I'll buy so much at an average price of so much of this particular stock. And it's the job of the broker dealers to get you that deal. And they will sell and buy to keep the market at a lower price if you're trying to go long, or a high price if you're trying to short the stock. Their job is to manipulate it as well as they can. But we'll look at other ones. As we said before we were going, Canada Trust Fund, want to see how this one does. Certainly compared to yesterday's volume, looks like we're probably going to match it. But again, any pullback above about 2670 would be a fairly good indication that this one had pretty much run out of steam to the downside, and keep an eye on it. That would probably be good for North America. FLR, which is Fleur Corporation, Fleur de Lis. Is that how you pronounce it? Those nice little emblems on everything. Going back and testing the May 7th low, it's $43.65, 6.3 million shares. Today with just 1 million shares. Now, this did gap down pretty horribly. But again, beating out some lows, they may not take, or I mean, it may take a week or 2 weeks for some of these things to develop. But at the point now is to start watching these things and watch how they trade. So when you're ready to act, you've got a little bit of history on some of these. Flowserve, it's filling its gap up of the 9th of August. Did so on 4.7 million shares. Yesterday you had 1.9 million shares. Today is 592,000 shares. So again, you got to keep a close eye on these, even on a down market, on what these things are going to do. What else? Amazingly, I actually did pronounce it correctly. It's not something that you pronounce every day, is it? I just remember there's like a song or something I had to learn in high school band, or maybe it was a junior high band or something. Can't remember now. I think there was a song about that. Down and breaking the lows, although on lighter volume. The September 7th low of Gardner, Denver, $24.35, 3 million shares. Yesterday, you came into it with half that volume, 1.455 million shares. Today, 1.2 million shares. So volume is picking up a little bit. And again, if you were going to do the James Wyckoff thing, you want to see it close back into the trading range on lighter volume. But this one actually looks fairly decent. G-Sky, G-S-K-Y, breaking its previous lows. You had almost a 4 million share low on August 13th. Got into it yesterday with 1.66 million shares. Today with 777,000 shares. And again, if the market turns around, a lot of these will pop right back into their trading ranges, and there will be your buy signal. Click and Clack, some of my favorite companies at all time. Click is actually breaking its February 6th low of 1.4 million shares at $20.53. Did that with 569,000 shares yesterday. Today down on 374,000 shares. So any way you look at it, these things are going to be hitting on half of volume before the end of the day. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Okay. What else do we have? Yay, my RAM came in today. Okay. Kennametal, KMT. We've got the May 3rd spike down to $34.17, 2.8 million shares. You had another retest of 2.8 million shares on June 21st. Now, yesterday we had 1.5 million shares. Today, just 528,000 shares. What you want is a close back above 34.17, which wouldn't be that tough if the market gets going. Some of these don't look that bad. Now, they may take a while to get going. I don't suspect that we're going to have an instant light switch low, but getting kind of close on a handful of these. Michael's Coors had a big spike low on February 9th, $56.21, 7.4 million shares. Got into it with 9 million shares on June 1st, so you knew we were going to come back down here. But you want to see this thing on lighter volume. And what do we have the last 3 days? 2.8 million shares. Yesterday, 2.7 million shares. And today, 1.2 million shares so far. So a close back above 56.21 would be a fairly good signal. You just want it closing below that February 9th low at all. I think we already talked about MU a little bit. Still think that these things may be just 1 day away, which is the only reason I'm not jumping in now. If these like NVIDIA and MU had already made these lows, I think you could make a case that you're there. Nexio Solutions. I'll take a quick look at this one. Another one that looks fairly nice from a pattern of breaking out with a sign of strength on September 18th. Did so on 8.6 million shares. Today, you're down with 246,000 shares. So keep an eye on some of these. Operates a chemical and plastic products distributors in North America, Europe, Middle East, and Asia. The company operates through chemicals, plastics, and environmental services sectors. 22,000 different products used in various industries. It's kind of like, I remember there was like an ad. If we don't have it, you don't need it. I don't remember that. I guess that with 22,000 products, that's probably their motto, right? If we don't make it, you really just didn't need it. Nexio Solutions, and of course, probably big fans of the Graduate, if they're in plastics. Old Dominion Freight Line Company, ODFL. There's a little gap that this thing goes back to, and a couple of upward thrusts that go back to October 26th of 2017 that come right in at this price line for Old Dominion Freight Line. And of course, one of the worst bludgeoned yesterday was the transport part of the Dow. Now this one's back down. Take a look at the volume here for the last couple minutes. Let's see. The last volume day down was 1.4 million shares, 385,000 shares today. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And see. Yeah, got some questions out here. Okay. Picking up my mailbox here, but the question is, what do I think about Tesla on earnings tonight? These guys can say anything. I don't know if there's a whole lot to what they're going on. Of course, this thing is always miserably short. So you can see probably a big move in it after the bell. In fact, I'll get a little reading here on what that is. Anyway, about 24% short yesterday. You don't know how many people went home with those short positions, but that's kind of standard. There's somewhere between mid-25s and 30% over the last month or so. A couple of days when it dipped under 20%. On the bi-monthly numbers from FINRA, you're basically looking at 26, 27% short. So, you know, it's one of these things like Sears. These guys are going to hang on for a while. And it's like that description of going bankrupt. It was slowly and then all at once. And that's the way that these stocks that everybody knows isn't worth what everybody says it's worth, or at least what the stock price is. But as long as they can continue running shorts out of it, they can keep the stock up for a long time. Eventually, it becomes a Sears or a Radio Shack, and it just suddenly, all of them close, and everybody's very surprised because these things hanging on like a loose tooth in a 4-year-old, where it's just kind of dangling out there. And it dangles for a long time until it just eventually falls out. And then everybody's surprised again. But who knows what these guys are going to say. Probably going to say fairly good about the delivery schedule. My guess is it probably goes a little higher. The real proof is going to be over the next year when these guys have to make bond payments and start going after cash. And especially now that they don't have any more stimulus money coming their way and subsidies, and all the other car companies that are going to be selling cars do. All the new cars are still going to have fairly decent subsidies. That's going to be it. Those cars that you can still get $7,500 on a lot of these new cars that are coming into the market now, where you won't get it with Tesla. So, man, I think they're going to have a tough few years. It might do a little bit better if Musk leaves. Kind of hard to say. I don't think he wants to be there when the curtain falls, as they like to say. So not much going on in that. Where's it at here? There's earnings. Yep. Okay. Wanted to get to this. I got to move some of the stuff around. Okay. Tuesday, Wednesday. Here we go. Okay. After the bell tonight, we also have Microsoft and AMD. Is that right? That's what I show. Yeah, October 24th. So we've got a little bit of that going on. And the question is, how short is everybody? Could we get a nice little rally in the morning if these things do well? I would keep a fairly close eye on these because they've been kind of, a lot of people have been going short these stocks into earnings. Let's take a quick look at these tonight. If I can type, MSFT. Okay. Well, you came down and tested the previous low of 104.20 that had 64 million shares. You tagged that today with 35 million shares. Let's see what we've got. MSFT. It's not that bad for shorts. Let's see what out here. Yeah, pretty light short percentage. So probably not a big move to the upside or the downside. But my guess is it could go back up to between 108 and 110 on decent earnings. They've been executing almost perfectly. I haven't seen anything that makes me change my idea on that. Also, after the bell tonight, we've got Visa. And this has come down on October 11th, gapped up, and it's just gone sideways out here. I don't know what to make of that at all. Las Vegas Sands, LVS. Hearing a lot of good things about the business in Las Vegas coming back. The stock hasn't mirrored that at all, although you're into some fairly significant support area that goes back to, what is this? May 22nd of 2017. So I'm not looking for a lot of downside in this stock. And the question is if there's any upside, and I can't see a lot in the chart. O'Reilly Automotive, ORLY, after the bell. And of course, with a market headed down, people, and especially interest rates headed up, not a bad business to be in. Amazon really hasn't been able to go after these guys like they thought in the past that they were going to be able to eviscerate the auto parts business. It just hasn't happened yet anyway. If there's one that's going to blow out tonight to the upside, I suspect it would be this one, ORLY. We'll see if FFIV, also after the bell. Okay. And we're off 43 on the S&P cash. You've already broken the lows of the previous low, which is June 25th, 168.02, that had 1 million shares in it. You've broken that. You've broken it with volume off the 199.71 high of September 28th in F5 networks. The next part out here, our support area, is at about 150. So if this thing was to lose support in any way, I'm looking for 150 after the bell. If it does okay, you might look at 180 to 183. But I do think a lot of these stocks are probably set up for some decent movement after the bell tonight with all the action we've already had before. XLNX, which is Xilinx. They make programmable logic chips. I used their competitor when I was doing this kind of work. Down with some significant energy, or at least more energy than it had yesterday. This one, you really would want to see about 69 bucks for a support level in it. That would be the good buy. But I don't know if you've got a lot in here. You're back into this candle that was the sign of strength that had 11.3 million shares up. And with just 3 million shares down, you're not seeing a lot of people race to sell this before the bell. This is a pretty good company. And certainly, if the semis start coming back, these programmable chips like Altera and Xilinx tend to be the first to run. But we'll be back after this.
Jason Path has just launched his weekly newsletter, The Quantitative Edge, available only at TFNN.com. Right now, you can sign up for Jason's outstanding weekly report, including midweek updates whenever warranted, with a 30-day money-back guarantee included, so you have nothing to risk. Jason develops his trade recommendations by creating an ensemble of predictive and mathematical models trained on data by leveraging a variety of techniques, including market-based computer simulations. Jason then combines these sophisticated predictive and analytical models with deeply researched macro outlooks to identify opportunities in a number of different markets for traders to act on. Whether you're looking to trade futures, equities, commodities like crude oil and gold, forex, or cryptos, Jason covers it all. Sign up for Jason Path's weekly trading newsletter right now by visiting the front page of TFNN.com, and you'll find the Quantitative Edge under the Newsletters tab. TFNN.com, educating investors. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And as we're back, Citrix Systems also after the bell tonight. So we're going to take a quick look at that. Before we do, let's talk about what's going to happen tomorrow morning. We've got Twitter, General Electric, Shopify, Grubhub, Celgene, Raytheon, American Airlines, Nokia, Sherwin-Williams, Merck, Comcast, Southwest Airlines, the WWE, Waste Management, Valero, ConocoPhillips, Altria, Union Pacific, Alaska Airline Group, Stanley Black & Decker, Bristol Myers, Dunkin' Donuts, Lincoln Electric, Anheuser-Busch, McKesson, Coca-Cola, Shaw Communications, T. Rowe Price, Simon Property Group, CME. Now, that's all just before the bell. And, of course, then we get to after the bell. And after the bell tomorrow night, we've got Amazon, Snap, Alphabet, which is otherwise known as Google, Intel, Chipotle, AK Steel, Gilead, Western Electric, Western Digital, First Solar, Expedia, Netgear, Stryker, PriceSmart, Mattel. Man. So we're going to have a busy next 2 days to see a lot of stocks all over the place. So just make sure that you know if you're playing an individual stock or even an index with a good weight to any of these stocks where you're at. So my guess is, with the market down already a bit, that we're going to wait and everybody's going to hold their breath probably through the earnings tomorrow night. Most of the guys that can move the market, the big guys of the street, are more than willing to hold their powder. And guess what? We get into tomorrow night, which is the 25th. You're just a couple of days. So we start fund buying actually next Tuesday. So, you know, just a handful of days away from that. Fund buying will run, and it could even start on Monday, but fund buying running all the way through next week. Got to look at those trim tabs figures and see whether or not we actually do have cash coming in the market or not. Going to have some. Question is whether or not. Off 43 on the S&P. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, not when you have.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.